I was curious. We have a monitor that has a list of questions that's kind of scrolling past, and one of the questions that's on that screen is, basically what should be mandated by the government, and which is a really tricky one. But I'm not someone who defaults to the government should put in more regulation, but
there are certain mandates around the world. So
I'm wondering. Well, that's what I was going to get to. Is this the type of like fire detection? It almost seems like that could be a regulation.
It could be. These assets typically you find out, especially for the overland assets, Joe, hill. The way you find out these things are on fire is you look over the horizon and see smoke, right?
It seems so ridiculous.
Well, we better call someone. That's the kind of situation you end up in. So,
is it supposed to do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, happened again. That kind of situation. But in certain parts of the world, Australia is one of them. If the belt is underground in a coal mine, it must be walked by someone of a superintendent level. Now, what ends up happening is people drive by and they stick their ear out the belt and they listen for what the Canadians we've been speaking to have been referring to them as clangers. So, squeakers or clangers, depending on how bad they are. Yeah. So, you just drive by.
Oh, it's still the red, green, blue.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. So the clangers are red and the squeakers are orange. And he just looked at me and went, yeah. I went, great. That's how our system works. This will be easy to use. Yeah. That's one of the biggest challenges is making sure that what we're reporting is the expectation of the site, because it's a subjective, like you can look at an idler and walk away in 5 minutes, it's making a different noise.
Yeah.
So we basically take a snapshot for a minute every 5 minutes and then build a model out of that.
Well, because once something goes off, once the system goes off, now it's an active. It escalates.
So there's a certain threshold.
Yes.
We do monitor all idlers, but the ones that make it through, they need to make a certain amount of threshold. And we're not just looking at energy, we're also looking at frequency. So when we start with you, we'll get one of your idlers or the drawing from it and work out the bearings. So the size of the ball bearings in the bearings will make a difference to the target frequency we're looking at. And the inner and the outer race and the shell all have different modes of frequency. We build a model, a pretty generous model around that to make it all work.